Good morning, good evening, good afternoon guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're having a beautiful day and you guys are staying safe and that you are well. I apologise for the lack of content on here lately. I have been so busy with uni things, and I've actually just filmed a video all about where I've been that's going on my other channel, so I will link it in whichever corner it is. Please go and check it out if you want to. But today I'm going to be talking a lot about the slightly controversial topic of the tech suit ban that Scottish Swimming have just enforced, that's a better word. For those of you who don't know, Scottish Swimming basically is the organisation that runs all of the swimming in Scotland, and they have implemented a tech suit ban for young swimmers. So if you don't know what a tech suit is, it's basically a race suit that's compressed that effectively makes you swim faster. There's been a lot of technology behind these suits, and they are really it's really up to date in the terms of research that goes into making these suits and etc. And all of the Olympic swimmers you'll see wearing them. In 2009 or 2008, I think it was 2009, there was actually a revising of the FINA rules behind tech suits, and if you want to find out more about that, then definitely look into it because it's really interesting. But basically the rules regarding tech suits kind of changed, but Scottish Swimming have just brought in a ban, let's call it a ban, behind young swimmers wearing tech suits. So we're going to look into that today. Hopefully it's not going to be too long. So basically this ban is going to be effective from the 1st of January next year, and swimmers aged 13 and under are no longer allowed to wear tech suits, and they've put little information about what is allowed and what's not allowed, which has been very controversial on Facebook. I mean, the whole ban in general is quite controversial, but I'm going to talk a little bit about why they've done it, look into the website as to why they've done it. And yeah, we're just gonna kind of look into it. So there's actually a big article on Scottish Swimming's website, which I will link below, but it basically states the primary considerations that they have kind of looked at, and I'm gonna read them. So the first one is to focus on good technique and introduction to training methods, and it basically states that the availability of tech suits brings an undesirable focus on enhanced performance through the use of equipment rather than technique and training. And so swimmers should feel and understand that it is their own commitment and effort that makes a difference, which I would actually agree with. I think that as soon as you start wearing a tech suit, you do kind of fall into the trap of not wanting to race in a swimsuit. And actually, we used to have to do certain meets in just a swimsuit. We had to do district meets in just a swimsuit when I was younger, so that we didn't fall victim to relying on a tech suit, and actually being okay with knowing that you can still swim fast in a training suit is so important, especially at a young age. The next point that they raised is that tech suits are expensive and have a short life, and they wanted swimming to be as inclusive as possible. Which I actually really do agree with. I think that tech suits, for a 12, 13-year-old to be wearing a tech suit, they're just going to grow out of it, and I actually do really support that. I really stand by the fact that they've made that as a point, because it does make things inclusive. The only issue with that, and the only thing that parents are really raising in the Facebook comments, particularly from what I read, was that obviously people already have bought these, and by actually saying, oh no, you can't wear them, does it make it inclusive? Because will people want to race when they're not wearing a tech suit? Which again really stands by the first point, that people think that tech suits are be all and end all, when actually you can still swim fast without a tech suit. And then the last point is the focus of younger swimmers should be less on results, more on learning the process of how to improve and on the enjoyment of swimming, of sport and competition. And it puts, and buying a tech suit puts an emphasis on providing a result, basically, which, do you know what, I would agree with as well. I think that when you wear a tech suit, there's more of a pressure to actually swim fast. And speaking from personal experience, I think that that's definitely the case. Not that I would say not wearing a tech suit has an excuse, but I think that you're more likely to be comfortable with not PBing when you're not wearing a tech suit, especially at such a young age. So that are the reasons why they really considered banning tech suits. It's interesting that a lot of sport, like a lot of swimming governing bodies around the world have already implemented this ban, but they went for 12 and under. So it's interesting that Scottish Swimming's went for 13 and under, which I'm not too sure why. Personally, I actually really support this, which might be quite controversial, and I honestly don't care. As a young swimmer, I wasn't like, my parents wouldn't let me, and I didn't want to buy a tech suit until I'd made my first Scottish Nationals. Now, the only thing that throws a spanner in the works is that I made my first Scottish Nationals when I was 12, so that would actually be under the age that they've set. Whereas if I was in another country, say like another country who has this ban, I would be allowed to. But the one thing I would say is that I've pretty much been the same height. I haven't really grown. I haven't really changed a swimsuit size since I was like 12, 13. And so for me, I didn't need to constantly change. Whereas most 12 and 13-year-olds, even 11, 10, they're growing so much that it's almost pointless buying a tech suit. You're spending like so much money on a suit that you're probably going to grow out of. Most people, there's been a massive thing with COVID that they've not been worn, but they're no longer that size. And I think that that's maybe why Scottish Swimming have really pushed for this. That people, rather than just buying a new one for racing, will maybe just not. And I think it's the right time, to be honest. I do also really agree with the fact that it does put a lot of pressure on performance, and actually swimming at that age should not be about performance. It should be about enjoying it. It should be about longevity of the sport, and I really respect Scottish Swimming for trying to push that and trying to put forward like the idea that actually we want swimmers to stay in swimming. We don't want them to just quit as soon as they get to 16, 17, 18, which is what the case has really been in the past. And I really respect Scottish Swimming for trying to make a change, because I think that in the past it's really been about performance with Scottish Swimming and British Swimming as well. And I think that it's really, really good to see that they're not just thinking about performance. Now, the thing where it gets tricky is where there's so many parents commenting on Facebook and people disagreeing with the ban, and that's kind of why I wanted to put this video out there. And yes, it's controversial, but I really do support this ban. One, I think it's pointless to buy a tech suit if you're not actually going to get the physical benefits. If you're wearing a suit that's super streamlined but you don't know how to streamline off a wall, what's the point? It's a bit like in cycling. You could be riding the best bike ever and the most top of the range bike, but actually be pretty rubbish and pretty weak, and actually you're not getting the benefit of the bike, so there's no point actually spending that money. And I think that it's really good that people like the Scottish Swimming are trying to make it as inclusive as possible. And actually, for some kids, if their parents can't afford them to wear a suit, like a tech suit, then standing alongside someone who is wearing a tech suit could actually provoke a little bit of jealousy, a little bit of like negative emotions. And actually having all 12, 13, 11, 10-year-olds on the same page wearing just swimsuits or non-tech suits, actually I think is a really good way of going about it. I've seen one specific comment on Facebook actually saying, well, if people can't afford it, then Scottish Swimming should provide it. And actually no, because under 13, I would actually even argue under 14, a tech suit really doesn't make that much difference. And to be honest, like when I was 13, when I was 12, when I was 11, when I was 10, I was swimming PBs like every now and again in training. And I think that you're at that age where actually a tech suit really just doesn't matter. And I think it's really, really good that Scottish Swimming have put this in place. And I really, really stand by them and support them. I would love to hear what you guys think about this tech suit ban. And I really wanted to make this video just to put a positive on this, because I support Scottish Swimming for doing this for so many different reasons that I hope I've outlined kind of well in this video. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Please comment below what you guys think. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if you want me to do more like up to date like what's going on in swimming videos, because I would love to make them. I really enjoy looking at what's going on in swimming, and keeping up to date with stuff like that. So yeah, I hope that this video has been comprehensive enough. I hope that it's not just been a little bit of a ramble, but I really hope that you've enjoyed this. Click the subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me. I do a lot of swimming related videos. I have actually done like in the middle of lockdown, like in winter last year, I let Scottish Swimming coaches control my week of workouts, and that was really fun. I would actually really like to do that again, but with like being able to get in the pool now. But yeah, I really hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!